All right, hi everybody, welcome back to Homestead, Ohio. It's finally time to get my rear in gear and get back on the greenhouse here. I got a few things to do before I can start putting the polycarbonate up on the roof, and it's been here a while. It's been sitting on the floor of the greenhouse here for months, and I got to get a couple verticals in, get the bottom of those closed up, and then I can start putting my strips on the top of it and get the polycarbonate on the roof of this thing, and then I can start working my way down to the walls and stuff. Anyways, I'm gonna get busy and hopefully I'll have this thing done before too long. All right, it is important to take frequent breaks, and that's what I'm going to do. Had to change the shirt. That black shirt I had on is really soaking up the heat, and you had to get something a little lighter color on. I got my son's going to come out and help a little bit with putting this polycarbonate up on there after the break. Okay, so here's the end of day one on getting the roof on the greenhouse. It was extremely hot today, and my son come out and help me, and my wife come out and help me at the end of the day. I run into a little issue with these pieces that go on here, these little bumpy strips that go underneath there. It seems that when I picked up my box from Lowe's, half of it was the wave type, and then the other half was the square type. So I had to stop and run to Lowe's and get those swapped out, and so I got back on it. I still got about 3 more sheets to put up on the end there, and then I got to move over to the other side. Hopefully tomorrow will be a little bit better. Okay, so here's the plastic strips that go down underneath the polycarbonate panel. Now these have a specific shape to them. You can see they kind of got flat tops, flat bottoms in them. There's holes in there for mounting it to the wood, and there's holes in there. Actually, the holes in there are for mounting the poly on there. Now there's 2 ways to do it. Usually on the roofs, you put the screws in the high parts. If you're doing walls and stuff, you put them on the low parts there. And the screws have a rubber washer on them. So there's the screw and the little rubber washer on there. Now you got to be careful with this stuff that you don't smash it down, you don't compress it. You don't want these screws extremely tight. As long as that washer will not spin freely when you put it in there, you're probably pretty good right there. So these strips, they connect together. So you've got a little slot on one end, and it slides right in there, makes a continuous plastic piece all the way down there. So what I've been doing on these is I've started this end right here at the edge of my roof line there, and on the other side there where I've already got the poly up there, it worked out perfect. It ends right at the end on the other side there. Now, I've only been putting 1 or 2 screws per strip on here just to hold them in place, and I've been putting them on the low spot, and I've been pressing it down just a little bit so that the screw head does not touch the bottom of the poly that's on there. So with this, I'm using an impact. I'm going to line that edge flush with there. Going to put my screw right in there. You don't want to squeeze it too much, but that is enough right there where the bottom of that poly will not touch the head of that screw. And then I'll just come down a little bit more, put another screw in, probably on the next strip. There's my joint right there, and I'll probably put a screw right there. Then I'll repeat this all the way down the roof on all 5 of my purlins. I got one up there at the top. Now I'll have to come back and put a ridge cap on top of that, which is going to be a lot of fun. Not so much. But anyways, I'm going to get all these strips on there so that I can put the poly on this side of the greenhouse too. Now I'll do all of these bays about halfway down. Then I got to move my pickboard, my ladders and everything over, and then continue on. Anyways, this will take me a little while just because of all the moving around, and then we'll get to putting some more poly on this side of the greenhouse. Okay, so you can see that I got all but 3 panels on there because I ran out of screws, and late in the afternoon the weather started changing a little bit too, and then it started to rain. I probably had enough time, I just didn't feel like running to go pick up some more boxes, so I picked up a few more, got some loaded in my pouch. I'm going to get up there and finish this thing up. And the boss lady come out to help me, and she's flipping the compost pile while she waits. About a year later, and I finally got the roof on this thing. I've still got a lot more stuff to do, but that's this phase of the project right here. And maybe on the next weekend I'll start closing in the end walls. I plan on putting the same poly on the end walls, both on the east and the west side. And then on the north and south sides, I'm thinking about doing plastic that hangs down, put a board across the bottom there so I can roll up the sides. But if I do that, I'll have to put some kind of screen on the inside there so if I've got the sides open, I can keep most of the critters out. That'll give me plenty of ventilation in here. Right now, it's got plenty of ventilation through both ends. Anyways, that's this part of the project. Thanks for watching Homestead, Ohio. Reach up here to hit one of these buttons and check out some of my other videos, and hit the little round one down here to subscribe if you haven't already. And hopefully I'll have this thing done before long.